Do you have a delay between your Airbyte job finishing and your dbt cloud job starting? Well, if you do, we're going to show you how to fix that inside of Shipyard in just under 5 minutes. Let's dive in. Under our fleet builder here, we want to start off by adding our Airbyte vessel into our fleet builder. So to do that, we're going to click our Airbyte blueprints and we're going to trigger our sync. It's going to create our vessel for us over here. So I need to put in my connection ID. I will copy and paste in. And then the same thing for our API credentials. I'm going to copy and paste those in as well. Okay, and that's all we need to do to set up for an our Airbyte vessel to run. Just some things to note down here on the bottom is we do have notifications. So if this vessel fails, we'll send you an email letting you know that happened. And then we also have guardrails to protect against retries, how long to wait between retries, and then runtime cutoff as well. Just some things to note that we won't get into in detail in this video. So now that our Airbyte vessel is good to go, now we can add our dbt cloud vessels. So you can see down here, dbt cloud, we want to execute a job. So I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to connect them together based on a success. I need to grab my dbt cloud service token. Copy that. My account ID is 19812, and then my job ID 24990. Okay, and that's all I need for our dbt cloud job to begin running as well. So looking at this fleet, we have a Airbyte sync being triggered, and then once that's triggered, we're going to start a dbt cloud job. So I'm going to name my fleet Airbyte to dbt cloud. Okay, now we're ready to click save and finish, and go ahead and kick this thing off for testing. So this is going to take us to a screen telling us that's been created successfully, and then we're going to go ahead and click run your fleet. So inside of Shipyard, if you just click run your fleet, so you're able to do that on that screen or up here on the top for run now. We call that an on-demand run inside of Shipyard. So there's two other ways that you can kick off a run inside of Shipyard, and that's up here in this triggers tab. So in the triggers tab up there, we have a scheduling trigger, so you can schedule this to run based on time. So you can have it running every hour at the 15-minute mark. You can have it running once a day, once a week, so on and so forth. That scheduling trigger gives you the power to kind of schedule it based on a certain time of day. And then we also have a webhook trigger as well, so that you can actually schedule a webhook based on some event and some other application to send the webhook into Shipyard and get this fleet to running. Along with that, in our webhooks, we also have where you can send in webhook parameters. So in a fleet like this, you could send in the Airbyte connection ID, the dbt cloud job ID, so on and so forth here. So looking inside of our fleet here, you can see that the first vessel is already kicked off. So the Airbyte trigger sync has already started and has already finished here. So you can see that by the green of the bar. It was that yellowish orange color before, which meant that it was currently running. So I can click into this, and it's going to show us the variables that were set here. So there was our connection ID, our API token. I inputted it, but then in the logs, it's all passwords or API credentials and things like that are going to be hidden with this XXX sign. So even if I go back to the fleet builder and try to look at that API token, I'm not going to be able to see it because once it's set and saved, it's gone forever inside the user interface. No one can go in and look at those values. And you can see down here on the bottom that the Airbyte sync was successfully triggered at this time today. So going back into our fleet, you can see our dbt cloud job has been executed as well. I can click inside of that, and we're going to get the exact same thing, kicking off the job, and then the JSON data was stored there with that response. So in this video, we discussed how we can kick off an Airbyte job, and then as soon as that's finished, we can kick off a dbt cloud job as well. If you have any questions about this solution or how you can use Shipyard in your organization, use the link in the description to set up a time to chat with our team of data experts. If you want to see more tutorials like this one, check out these related videos.